half a second. Light whatever you brought with you. Cigars, smokes, joints, coffee, whiskey. I don't judge. You didn't come here for fairy tales. You came for truth, steel, and motor oil. This ain't clickbait. This ain't influencer nonsense. This is real biker news told by a man who's lived it, seen it, and survived it. From the streets to the clubhouse, from the old guard to the new blood.
All we wanted to do was
welcome to Biker News Canada. And the man behind the curtain, the voice they don't want quiet, the pen that wrote Playpen, the mind that never shut off, Bob Jarvie. So sit back. Let the truth hit harder than a straight pipe at midnight. And remember, once you hear it here, you can't unhear it. Now here is Bob.
Bam. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone out there tonight? Bob's back. Biker News Canada. Coming at you on a Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Biker News Canada group, and TikTok on my phone in front of everything. So good evening. Hello to everybody dropping in and checking out the show tonight. I appreciate everyone who does. And we got Nomadic Pirate in the house tonight. And we got So Loud. Good afternoon, brother, from the Boondocks of North Carolina. Much respect, brother. Always good to see you, So Loud. And how's everyone else down there in the TikTok world? Looks like it might be a slow night. That's okay. We run the show one way or the other. So don't forget, everyone, if you haven't seen the show that I haven't mentioned it yet, I got a book out called One Night at the Playpen. Contact me in any social media DM, and I'll explain you how to get a payment through to me, and I will send you a signed copy. One Night at the Playpen. If you put in that in the Amazon search bar, the book will pop up. So the book's $30, signed and delivered to your door, and you can throw in another 10 and get the cool embroidered patch with that. So 30 for the book alone and 40 for both. Contact me. Email even works. The email that's scrolling on the screen, whatever you prefer. I will respond to you. I got a couple books going out yet and a couple more patches I got to get out yet this week. We'll get those things going for everybody. And hey, there, everybody showed up. Or maybe my chat was lagging. We got Tommy in the house. Keegan's here. Good to see you guys. Chuck dropped in. Gary, our friend from over in Michigan. Good to see you, bro. Joker Smoker. And I think I got Nomadic. Everything seems to be running kind of glitchy on me today. Well, we got somebody coming in on the TikTok side. We got Chong, we got Chong, Digger Dave, Davin Dappy, like that one, Chris, Claudius, and a few other, Patrick. And thanks, guys, for popping in. Dave, AK-47, right on. Good to meet you guys. Thanks for popping in at Biker News Canada. And we got Mouth of the South. We got Cal. Good to see you tonight, Cal. Mafiosa's in the house. And Mama Iron Ranger. Nice. You made it on time. See, sometimes it's good I run a late show. So I checked around the old Google machine today. And for once, I didn't see any biker news. But again, after last night's show about, what were we talking about last night? The Pagans MC potentially coming to Canada. And I got another message, but this time on Instagram. It's kind of saying the same thing. So let me have a little look-see. I don't know if the person necessarily wants me to show who it came from. That's okay, because I can open the link and we'll show it that way. So here's what was sent to me. And this is an Instagram account. Pagans MC Canada, it says right there. And they've had one whole post. So now we got to get down to the mystery. Is that a troll trying to set up a fake Pagans MC account and see if he can, if they can rope people into sending, money for support gear or money for a set of patches or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's tons of scams that people are pulling. I hate to see it because, geez, everyone's got a hard enough time. Okay. Everyone's having a hard enough time as it is, keeping the social media straight and all that stuff. And there's lots of people complaining about all the stuff is on social media now. I think everything's on social media now. I don't know. It seems to have gotten that way to me, isn't it? Everyone's saying hi to each other. We got Grant in the house. Good. Thanks for dropping in tonight, Grant. And we got Virginia Chaos in the house. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for dropping in lately. I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure. You guys check out Virginia Chaos. I'm pretty sure he's got a YouTube channel. So go check him out, Virginia Chaos. Give it a search on YouTube. I'm pretty sure something. He's got a channel that'll pop up. So all that got me to thinking, well, I got a sick dog. Talk about my personal life. I got a sick dog. You got to get him to the vet tomorrow. And hopefully they can do something with him. And he comes home. But we'll see what happens. Poor old guy. But that's what happens when your dogs get old. And don't forget, if you're running an event tonight or this summer or your club needs some clothing or whatever, check out Dirty Dog Embroidery. Tell him Bob sent you. He's the guy you want. Check him out. Dirty Dog Embroidery. He also has a YouTube channel. Check him out there. He's got laser engravers. He's got the embroidery machines. He's got the t-shirts. It's not quite silkscreen anymore, but I can't remember what they call it now. He's got really excellent prices. This is back from Christmas, obviously, but look at the pricing is pretty good. $9 for a toque with your logo on it. So if you actually want to make a little bit of money off the back end, there's some there for you. So we got Mark in the house. Good to see you tonight, Mark. So Dirty Dog Embroidery, like you say, if you need any sort of apparel or custom clothing or stuff like that done for your club, for your run, for whatever's going on. So yeah, so that one got me to thinking, because I know I was talking to the same person and they were mentioning the Rebels MC. And I was like, oh, geez, I forgot about the Rebels MC coming up here. Because they've been here for a while up in Canada. Now, I remember when I first started doing a channel, I did a small story about they were setting up. And they did. And they came to Eastern Ontario. And not one of the big cities. I think they're in Cobourg, Ontario. And they came all the way from Australia, which I don't know why, but I thought it was weird that an Australian club open a clubhouse, open some charters in Canada. Hey, okay, you're talking to Mark. Sorry, bro. Shoving in the hammer. Good to see you tonight, brother. And Omerta, good to see you tonight. If I was a betting man, I would bet the house of Pagans making a move south, not north. Oh, that could be. Now, somebody else. Oh, we got Fred in the house, too. Good to see you tonight, Fred. Thanks for dropping in, brother. Waiting on the Comancheros. I know those guys are money makers in Australia. Who see the videos that they have out about just that the income, though, the wealth that club seems to have? Wow. Hey, it's okay, buddy. Leave it be. Yeah, so the Rebels, they're basically, they're self-defined as a 1% club and all that stuff. And like I say, they decided to come on up. and move into Eastern Ontario, which they did. And how long ago was that? Oh, it's talking. Yeah. I go on Wikipedia. It's talking about the old Rebels Club from Calgary. I'm talking about the Rebels Club from Australia. Yeah, Mafios. He's got great pricing down there. Yeah. So if anyone needs stuff happening, yeah, Tommy, Australian clubs, Rebels MC. Are they still a club down there? I think they are. As far as I know, I don't think anything's changed. And then there's the rebels from Alberta, right? Yeah, but did those rebels in Alberta they still exist, or did they get absorbed into 81 over the years? And we got Chicken in the Rain. Thanks for popping in. Good to meet you. A little late to the party. No such thing as late. I was like a half hour late myself, so I saw we talked about all the international clubs. Rebels and Comancheros are huge in Australia, absolutely. Oh, but the Rebels Australia are a former shell of themselves. I heard that there was like other clubs attacking their clubhouse and stuff like that, right? So there's one from Instagram, Rebels MC from Belleville. That'd be the same one I'm thinking of. And then there's the other one I'm thinking of. It's this Rebels I'm talking about right now. But like you say, I know they came up to Canada a couple years ago at least. And there is a Rock Machine Rebels. Oh, that's in Australia. Yeah, that's in Australia. And somebody else told me that the Pagans are aligning themselves with a club that's already here, which is kind of weird because I don't know what aligning themselves would mean. Um, if it doesn't mean that they're gonna like be a support club for one, I don't know what that would mean that much. Mr. 40 Scratch, good to meet you. Remember the rumble they had with the Banditos in 1948? There's a series called the Bikey Wars, Brothers in Arms. Oh, that's pretty wild. Thanks for that. You're gonna have to check that one out, man. So they must have right went at it down there. Oh, there's rebels in the States too. I didn't know that, Virginia Chaos. Thanks for letting me know, bro. Interesting, eh? So maybe they remember maybe because they were having a hard time in Australia, they decided to go international. So they're in America, they're in Canada too, and so they came over, and they obviously they made it. They're doing their thing. Um, I still haven't had any indication from anyone where if the pagans are coming into Canada, exactly whereabouts they're coming. Looks like my t-shirt guy's bad. But you know what? That's okay. Now, who else was there? Now, we all know the Banditos came to Canada for a short minute there, and that one ate itself. No, more, I guess. Kind of, they didn't do much of a background when they started it up, so they went for it, and they ended up with a bit of a madman, and it went how it went. Crazy buggers. But anyways, so the Banditos had come over, give it a try, and said, "No, we're all done here." Hey, we got K Wayne in the house. Good to see you tonight, brother. I hope you're having a good time down there in Texas. Hope work's treating you well too, bro. Good to see you. Correcto, yeah, man. Rebels all over the world. Okay, yeah, I did hear that they went to UK before the Canada as well. I did hear that. Or am I thinking of the Mongrel Mob? Because I think the Mongrel Mob came up from Australia, and they have a presence in Canada now too. They've been in the States a while. Okay. Oh wow. So what? The Warlocks switched over. They're beefing with the Warlocks. They held a Warlock, held an old Warlock. One of the presidents of the rebels in Australia got taken out by a veteran sniper watching a race with his family. Oh, that's that story. I remember I've seen YouTube clips about that story. Those guys were going crazy. There must have been a lot of money they were fighting over down there in Australia, right? Now it's Comancheros versus Mongols. Is it the booger sugar bro, or is it a broken glass and the Finks patched over? And they went to the Mongols, did they not? The Finks. I was at the Rebels Canadian Ride 2025. Oh, the Albertan, BC, Ontario mainly. Right on. That's cool to know. And we got Paul in the house. Good to see you tonight, brother. Been a minute. Hope everything's going well for you, my man. Oh, he was thrown out, you mean? What's going on? Why was my live access removed? What the fuck's the matter with these guys? They kicked me off for tiki-talkie. What? Dangerous activity and challenges? What are you talking about, TikTok? You guys are fucking idiots. Your access to go live will be restored, whatever. Violation clip. Your safety and well-being. Says I was unsafe. What the fuck is that? Good thing that channel doesn't, the TikTok doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm just trying to I'm actually trying to get the viewers from TikTok to come over to YouTube because YouTube's going to be monetized. I don't think TikTok in Canada ever gets monetized. I got a couple fucking pieces of fur that are sticking out sideways. I can see them in the camera. They're driving me crazy. Oh, the cold Canadian air can fuck off any time now, bro. Oh, I did light a cigarette, Joker. I did, actually. Okay. They are goofy, aren't they? But like I say, I'm just kind of fishing in there for more viewers to come over here. But whatever. I guess we don't get a TikTok show tonight. That's the way life goes. So yeah, so that's another one I think that came to Canada with the mongrel mob. I should actually take them guys in because I'm pretty sure they did come over here. And there were another one come from Australia, maybe New Zealand, and decided that they were going to UK, and they did. Decided they were coming to Canada, and did they or not? There are reasons, no, maybe not. But these guys were worth tons of money too in Australia. No, it doesn't say that they're in Canada. Huh. Okay. I could have swore I saw something a couple of years back said that they were. But hey, man, what do I know? And TikTok is it is a foreign data collector. You're right. I'm probably boring to them because I'm not talking about anything. It's probably the lighting up. Maybe they thought I was lighting the J or something. Who knows, right? Crazy fuckers. For short. Oh, they did come for a short time. Hey, Cole. Colb, as I always say it, good to see you. Good to meet you. Thanks for popping in the chat tonight, man. And Travis, good to see you, bro. Brandon, man, my friend. And yeah, exactly. You know what? That's the other thing. I don't watch TikTok. You know what I mean? 2018. Yeah, I thought so. 2018 they had a presence. So they mustn't have made it either. So I guess that's the real natural thing in motorcycle clubs, right? Some just don't make it, and they just don't. And we were going to talk about, and somebody's asked a few times, and I can do this topic off the top of my head. Was the Los Lobos in Winnipeg. So they were around for quite a long time in Winnipeg, and there was another club there called the Spartans. And the way the press puts it always is Walter from 81 made these two clubs go at each other, and whoever won got to patch for patch into the HA, right? Which it's probably, if you boil it right down, that's how it looked from the outside. I'm sure it wasn't put to anyone like that, but at the end, Los Lobos came out victorious, and I think Spartans ended up kind of having to get disbanded, and they did some bad things, and somebody pewed into a tow truck with a child in it, with another, like, the member of the other club had his kid with him, and it got stupid there. I watched that guy's, what do you do, an interview maybe on W5, but yeah. So you know what? So at the end of the day, they patched over, and as far as I recall, just from reading the paper over the years, is Winnipeg's kind of had one of those rocky chapters for 81. Kind of like Thunder Bay. There's a chapter, there's not a chapter, there is a chapter, there's not a chapter. I think that happened a couple times in Winnipeg too. A lot of it down to big arrests. And then, they didn't have the manpower to fill the seats. So they put the chapter dormant for a while. And that's what they do. They're a big club that abides by the 1% kind of motto. Or they just, that's how they run things apparently. So, so then, yeah, so they were clicking away as 81 for a good number of years there. And then when Harley announced that he was starting the choice, just before them, a couple of the old timers in the 81 chapter of Winnipeg were still around from the Lobos days. And for whatever reason, I guess the chapter decided that they didn't want them around no more. So they told them both to leave or something like that. Or they left on their own because they saw it coming. And I honestly think that Harley thought they were going to come over and join the choice. And I honestly, personally believe that it probably would have made them stronger as a whole. But anyways, they decided to reform Los Lobos, and they ride again. So, you know what I mean? I guess we'll see where that all goes. This will be the first summer of their return, but it's a couple of the old original 81s, I guess you would say, in Winnipeg that have left and gone back to their old patch, kind of like what Harley did, right? And so that's kind of our history of those cats. Now, TRC 275, you're from Manitoba. You might know a little bit more about it than I do. But I don't even know if they still have an Angel chapter in Winnipeg, but they still have Angel chapters in Manitoba. That I do know. And there's one guy, I think he does TikToks. He called it Living in the Cut. And I think he was a Winnipeg member. I used to watch his videos once in a while. But thanks for dropping in anyway, TRC 275 from Lake St. Martin First Nation up there in Manitoba. And Pocono Ken, good evening, brother. Thanks for dropping in, my friend. And we already got Mark. And there we go. Everyone's saying hello to everybody. One of my bros was in OG. Okay, well, that's pretty cool, Travis. So yeah, so that's why I think I probably did a show about it when I saw the newspaper article that Los Lobos was coming back. And the two guys have been in the motorcycle club world for a long time, because I think 81's been in Winnipeg for a long time now. It's not like it was kind of only a few years ago. It's been doing it for a while. We got I Comment to Make You Angry. Good to see you, brother. And Road Dog. Good to see you, bro. No such thing as being late, man. No, you had to go out and come back? Is it glitchy on your end, bro? No more HAs in Manitoba. Oh, that's Deli, I think. That's the guy who does the Living in the Cut videos. Oh, and he's the last dude. Oh, that's interesting. And I think, if I recall correctly, there were some online words about him and bad things in his past too. So I don't know what happened to him either. They got dragged out because when the online back and forth started going, people were saying stuff, and then all of a sudden the guy in the other will go, "Yeah, well, I guess look what I got." And so, anyways, I'll stay out of it. I won't say more than that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. What do you actually landscape looking across Canada this summer? Um, we all hope it keeps. Yeah, we all hope it keeps mellow. Not a slew on funerals, but how do you think it'll actually play out? I'm not sure yet. Nomadic. It's a tough call because Quebec, 81 have other things on their mind too, like the Rizzutos and the street crews and all that that's happening down there. And usually they're the guys that if it's going to go off somewhere, we all know Quebec's usually where it goes, right? I hate it when that happens. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That is weird when it goes like that. All by Design 84. Good to see you. Awesome, man. Thanks for checking it out, man. I appreciate it. Give it a sub while you're here. Yeah, watch the London news exactly. It's weird how it starts in London. But, and Jay from Michigan popping in. Good to see you, bro. But London always was the the Outlaws and the Angels each came in at different parts of Canada at the same time. We know that in the 70s. And, from the 70s until 77 until 2000 and in the red and white. And it was only because I think one guy had the vision. Walter had the vision, and he went province to province, and they're not quite across Canada, but they have a presence. And even if they're not right in a particular province, they definitely have a support club in there. So they have a presence, and the ones that are making money are making money, right? So yeah, Ken, fuck it, snowed here again too, bro. It's -8. Yeah, Harley did say some things. Yeah, exactly. And London Stan. Oh, Jim Macwa, good to see you tonight, bro. But yeah, man. So those guys came, and now let's not get things twisted. Outlaws are not down or out. We took the big hit that was back in 01. So in 25 years, that they've done some rebuilding, some restructuring, moved around people. But I'm happy to see that throughout East, and there's a couple outlaw chapters, last I heard, out West too. So good. So finally, the bottom rocker for the Outlaws always like Canada. So it's nice to see that they jumped across the borders and out of Ontario. So that was good. So now we all know 81's a dominant. There's no question about that. I'm looking forward to summer. I hope we can set a ride when we can. Yeah, Road Dog, absolutely. Yeah, man, that'd be fun. We'll do a Biker News Canada rides one weekend. That'd be fun. 81 had Hollywood in the movies. Yeah, that helped. And just whenever the news says anything about 81, they always say, HA, the largest club in the world, and they always like so the news helps perpetuate kind of the how they want everyone to perceive them. Like, don't fuck with us, we're the biggest and we're the baddest. So the news has already helped them in that regard. Always did. Hey, if it wasn't for Walter bribing a few SC chapters back, then Red and White would have grown like they did, or wouldn't have grown like they did. Well, yeah. But more than just Bernie got received gifts. You know what I mean? There was a method. Road Dog, fuck this snow. Oh, you're an Owen sound, I guess so. But they did whatever they needed to do to get the guys that they wanted to patch over, and they commercialized biker life. I think that's like Joel's. I've been around many. Nice, Jay. Cliff, good to meet you, Cliff. Nice, thanks for popping in, bro. And obviously at this point in my life, I've got nothing bad to say about one club or another, and I don't want to. I want to always be perceived as I'm neutral on it. Everyone knows my history, and And I think what Nomadic said, if there's an argument or anything that kind of is a negative review on 81 would be that people feel like they commercialized it. It made it seem like it's more about money than it is brotherhood, which I don't think that's how they run things. But a lot of people, that's how they perceive them. Seems like a lot of clubs are changed when the newer younger members. They should study the history. Yeah. And who knows if they make them. I had to know the whole history of our club before. Not that anyone ever asked me, but actually they did. They did ask me a few times. So you need to know your history. We got Bruce Inch in the house. Good to see you tonight, brother. Always a pleasure, my man. On the other side, yep. Like you said before, I said Grubby. Yeah, man, I remember Grub. I remember my brother Grub. Hey, Keenan, good to see you, bro. There's something much bigger than government going on. Fucking right. I think so. I don't want to talk about it. Well, I'm going to 2081, and we're beefing over a helmet, and my Charles using the club and trying to intimidate me. Oh, that's a bummer. My wife's Jeep was stuck on the driveway last night in 10 inches. Holy fuck, that sucks, bro. At least it was gone today. Who could get along, to be honest? Look, does anyone ask who's who? Yeah, that's true, Road Dog. Nobody even asks anymore. You have to take you take any club chapter for chapter and member for member. Yeah, that's true, AJ from Michigan. You're right. Because a lot of times, even if you're friends with somebody in a particular club and they bring you to an event or something, and then you get left on your own for whatever reason. I've seen it where a brother from another chapter may not like the look of this guy and start riding him or give him a hard time or feeling like he's putting him into place and shit like that. You know what I mean? Making the person not feel welcome at the end of the day. So there's a lot of funny things that go on. I remember one guy, and even when I joined the club, him and I didn't get along very well. And, we're sitting at the bar and he's like, and I was a disc jockey at the strip joint, and this old lady was one of the dancers, as it always is. And the guy goes, "What are you staring at my old lady's pussy when she's doing her thing?" And I'm like, "No, bro, I wouldn't know, man. Why, isn't it good enough for you?" One of them guys, right? It's like, oh fuck, and a big steroid guy, right? Ah, Christ, it's gonna be one of these. You know what I mean? And complained about couldn't make enough this and switch chapters, this and that. Broke a whole chapter of guys' way when he didn't get his way. One of those guys, right? But he's a big guy and he attracted young members who wanted to be big and tough and wealthy like him. I ended up trading back to High Country for a 4x4 axe, changed my 4. Okay, and need to get a new bike next. Yeah, I thought you did the pickup trade thing. Loose lick Sinkum. They always do. History shows that all drugs are controlled by the government. If you step outside the government shit, the RCMP military rains down on you, right? Unless you find the mud check. Yeah, that's what it is. Or just the guy being an asshole. It was one or the other, right? That's right, Bruce. Well, the problem is they got a CI. Yeah, exactly, Road Dog. That's what she's there for. Did you ask the whole rest of the bar that? No. Just waited till I got to the clubhouse. Big Dog started Zigzag Crew when he was 12. Wow. Huh. He's got a big history then. The 81 appeared to become more commercialized when you started seeing Big Red Machine and sportwear at flea markets and apparel stores. Never saw those other. Yeah, exactly. And who knows? Some of those flea market ones might have been something that Buddy was just knocking off on his own and keeping the money. Who knows, right? But yeah, you started seeing their stuff everywhere. At least I can pop past when I'm on YouTube alone. I did, but I never like it, so I took it. Oh, okay. Oh, so you've been trading them around. They only patched in the owner of the playpen to get control of it. Yeah, I was always surprised that he went that way, bro. I offered him so many different things, and the whole time he was planning on doing that. I'm like, well, now when he told me we were one on one, and he told me he's like, you can come, sort of thing, and it was like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? Like I've got ink, I've got dead friends. I didn't even understand what the fuck he was talking about. But Tom, hey, good to see you tonight, brother. You be safe and be good out there, bro. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Yeah, in the past too, I like it. They last longer. I get more of them. Timu, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy for a while, especially in Ontario when they first got to Ontario, because they just layered the whole province with support gear, right? And then you hear about guys getting politicked in and out of the club, right? Yeah, you're getting mad. Yeah. But I don't know if their club, say in British Columbia, if you would find the same kind of politicking on each other and in-house fighting is what you hear, and even what you hear about in Ontario might not even be happening either, right? But and then we all know how it gets when some guys get into big clubs, it goes to their head, and I think in some cases the club starts to gain a life of its own. You know what I mean? So that even if you didn't want it to go in that direction, it went, it's going, it's gone, and then you're sitting there wondering how to reel it back, and then you might be losing good members walking away, or good members getting ran out, and guys with more flash but less substance end up being the guys, and they don't really have a plan for 3 weeks down the road. Never mind tomorrow. Hey, we got Warland in the house. Good to see you tonight, brother. And I'm not putting all that on 81. That goes for any club. That's not an 81 thing I'm talking about. That's a club thing I'm talking about, right? Remember when you had to know someone? Yes, yes. When I started, they wrote it down who they gave the shirt to and who gave it to them. Yeah. Restudy. Yeah, The Art of War. Exactly. Are you reading it? I've read it once. It was a good book. I think the word politics gets used too much. Called rules in every club. Yeah, Bruce, every club's got rules, but when you see guys turning rules against one individual, but the same rule, the other individual will get a pass on it. Usually that's what it means when they're putting a run on a guy, or it's an obscure thing, or it wasn't really a big thing and it gets blown into a big thing. You know what I mean? Now let's also be honest. Lots of club guys make mistakes by accident, and they were harmless, but they might have been perceived to be something else. You know what I mean? Remember I told you the story about the cop at the end of the driveway, and he held out his hand, because most people's natural response when you get a hand held out to you is to grab it and shake it, right? But it was a cop and we were outlaws. So it was like, well, I can't touch that, man. Like, what are you doing? Because next thing you know, there'll be somebody in the bushes over there taking pictures, and there'll be pictures of me shaking hands with a cop out there. No, 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 no. But they try. So you know what I mean? How many guys do you think they caught doing that? Probably lots of guys. And the thing about, you can't talk to a cop unless you got another brother with you. Well, I've seen lots of guys that get pulled over. They know they don't have to say anything. They know they don't have to answer questions. As soon as the cop walks up to the window and says, "Where are you coming from?" they're telling them a great big fucking story. And they're usually telling some lie story, thinking that they're being smart. It's like, you don't have to fucking say nothing. The answer is, I'm coming from that way. The answer is, I'm going there. Or there is no answer. Paperwork. There you go. There's my paperwork. Yeah, yeah, okay. West, if you wear sport gear, you get step 2. Yep. Yeah, it is kind of getting a little more in Ontario, isn't it? Yeah. Now, I don't know if it West, like, but it used to be, if you had a support shirt in Ontario, you had to understand what you were wearing. Still running my 21 Trail Boss. Great trucks. Well, need them older souls. You got that right, Doug. I think to lead and set an example of how to conduct yourself. But I think what happens a lot of times now is the older guys, some older guys, when they get to a certain, say, level of life comfort in their account and stuff, they're good. So they step back. And you got a bunch of or a bunch of guys that they've been in it a long time, and they hear a whole bunch of young guys crying in their ears about why does it have to be this and why does it have to be that, and they want to switch the old rules because they don't think they make sense anymore. And maybe in some cases they're right. You know what I mean? But the old guys don't want to hear about it every fucking time they're at the clubhouse. Hold on, my dog shut up. Oh, she got it herself. Good. Jay Patrick, good to see you tonight, brother. Always a pleasure. And I already said hi to you, didn't I, Cliff? If I didn't, good evening, brother. Can't wait to park it, though, and get the street glide. Fucking right, Cliff. Minneapolis, late 80s, you did not wear sport gear unless it was gifted to you, period. Exactly. I probably, after what I've done, still have 15 shirts. Wait, what are you doing? But you still got that old Snitches one, eh? Now, we had one with that said our dying breed, and it had the holes in the heart machine line, beep, beep, and then it goes flat. That was the one that we had. The Prince is Must Reading. Oh, that's good to know. I don't think I've read that one. Snitches end up in ditches. And back in the day, when I was in England, they call snitches grassers. So if you grass on a guy, you told on him, you're a snitch. So their shirt said, grassers are a dying breed. I was like, fuck, that's funny, man. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Just don't answer no questions. It's so much easier. Yep. It's so much easier, and it's actually what you're supposed to do, right? Exactly. You give them what they ask for as far as what you legally have to, right? Your driver's license and your insurance paper and your ownership paper. And you roll the window back up and wait till either they bring you a ticket or they tell you you can move. Guys you labeled NFG up and kicked out and still end up with, yeah, exactly. I know, man. That's one thing I've noticed a lot with clubs anymore. Is they're in, they're out, they're flipped, they're flopped, he's a cocksucker, he's NG, and then boom, he's got the patch on. Come on, man. You can't make those statements and then do a whole 180 and think people aren't going to look at you up the side of their eye going, what? You know what I mean? A lot of the MPL clubs try and use fake names on the cactus. Yeah, exactly, Orland. That's the way to do it, right? We used to have so many things that we could not say on the phone to each other. Like the word, like we cannot say this word to each other at all over the phone. Because there's something on the phones that pulls certain words out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember the old business cards. She hold that old WAP card. Be a collector item one day, brother. Last couple of years, I've actually seen sport gear worn less. Got escorted out of my local mall by security, and that's also a result of the bad image that the guys who do crazy shit, are putting on the motorcycle scene. And then that's why there's going to be a no back patch law soon. That's why, they harass RCs when they're setting up for a fucking a poker run and all that shit, right? If you're not an MC and you don't wear other, right? Exactly, bro. That's where I look at it. And that's the other thing that a lot of people ask, and that's what really attracted them to the choice, you know? And apparently, I don't know why him and I keep talking for a minute and then stop talking, but he's busy and so am I. But you know, from what I saw on Stax's interview, they've got more people in America than we realize. So that's interesting. I think that's where we got to watch how things play out this summer is down stateside. And again, they're using the same talking points as we're not here. We don't want to take over. We don't want to take territory off nobody. We're not here to bang heads or cause conflicts. We're here to go back to the old school, blah, blah, blah. Now let's see if the other clubs are going to be so willing to share their space, right? That's always the hard part. But then you get into shit like what Jay said, Rico, and in the States, it's a real thing. You know what I mean? I saw, I saw Taco go in for life, and that's where he stayed, unfortunately, until cancer got him. And then the very next grand guy from Indianapolis, Frank, same thing, bro. And I think he's still down. I think he's still like alive, but I think he's still down. He's in there, and that's where he's staying. It's a fucking drag. Just because some snitch said he's the boss, he said so. Yeah, that's it, Warren. That's how anyone should play it, right? When I see Bob in the hoodie, it's yours. Oh, hi, thanks, Road Dog. Fucking awesome. Jay, I know a guy who had the old speaker covers with 6 shooters and Charlie in the middle. Yeah, man. Actually, we had some cool looking gear back in the day, man. I like to Charlie pointing the thing at you. Yeah, man, absolutely. I went through one with my old MC, a Rico. And that's the other thing about Rico that nobody wants to talk about. If I recall correctly, Taco's defense cost a couple million, and he still got convicted. Whew. That was a lot of fucking T-shirts to sell and a lot of fucking fundraisers to have at the different clubhouses. $2 million fucking dollars. I'm 47 years on the scene. Become an associate of local 1% club. Started mentoring the younger man on traditional MC culture. Inadvertently created my own clique. Leadership wasn't impressed. That's funny, eh? Well, they should have thanked you. See, that's the thing. Everyone jumps to things, eh? That's it. We're mad at you. I'm not seeing any sport gear around here. Bob, all years ago, guys hung around and rode with the club members. Yeah, and in our city, it was like our members each had their own little groups of friends. So if I had 6 buddies that weren't in the club, but they were close and we did things together and we were together most of the time, they got support gear. No one passed that. Like my old friends from high school and college didn't hang around with me in the club days. None of them had support gear. I didn't just hand it out. And then another member would have his 6 or 8 buddies, and they would have support gear, and it was something that you were proud that the club gave to you, right? You were very proud. It was like, oh, look, I got. You saw me as a threat and showed me the door. Oh, maybe they don't want old school values, Ken. Maybe they're after fucking something else these days. Police biker enforcement unit about to expand. I think so. And hey, I saw another thing in the American paper about that America First or America Safety fucking bill they just passed. And one of the things in there that they're targeting is motorcycle clubs, and specifically 1% motorcycle clubs. And it's written right into the bill that that they got a beef with motorcycle clubs. Came right off of Trump's desk. So I guess his love affair with the Hells Angels must have been over. Topo had Top Man rat him out, and so did Frank, bro. It always goes that way. Taco had a chapter boss in Florida that was pinned down. The cops had him. He read the disclosure, and yeah, he fucking rolled. You know, if he didn't want to do it, he should have left the club, right? Like, come on. You know what you're getting into. And that was back in those days. They were taking over Florida, and Taco said one way or another, we're doing what we're doing. It's funny that one club never did leave. Was it the Warlocks, I think? I was top warlord of the club. Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, that would be a bummer. Yeah, he was on the most wanted, yep. And then when I got my patch, and like I said, it was 3 months in, I was on my way to Bike Week, and I was crossing the ditch with a citizen in his vehicle, thinking I'll be sneaky, right? They were waiting for me. They watched me leave from the Windsor Clubhouse, I think. So they pulled me in the side room over there and made me wait. And finally, this little short copper comes in and starts blasting these questions. He kept asking me, where's Taco? And I'm like, buddy, I'm 3 months into the fucking club. You think that they're telling me where Taco is? Like, come on, man. And he goes, oh, yeah, I've seen you before. That prick been watching from the States. He was aboard or something on the States. He was watching the Canadian guys in the club for years. He told me that, like right out loud. He said, yeah, been watching you guys for ages. Can you export your online? That is true. Yes, you have to go right to the actual club's website. So the Outlaws got a website, the Hells Angels got a website, and they will all have an order page. And that is the best way to know you're going to get a real one, unless you go to one of their clubhouses and you don't remember. You know what I mean? I wanted to. Oh, did he? Oh, shitty, Virginia. Thanks for letting me heard that. Let me know that, man. Milwaukee Jack is, yeah, he's out of jail, I believe. He was a legend too in the club. Stairway Harry too was another legend in the club from back in them days. Police biker unit to expand. Talk with snitch on by outlaw. Yeah, I know. So much, brother. Yeah, Bob. Fuck yeah. Remember, I gave you that fucking shirt you wore with pride. Yeah, man. And if they asked for a hand, you fucking gave them one, man. Yeah, it was the first step. Yep. Like for me, it was the first step because after that, I kind of already figured I was going to figure out how to become a member myself, right? Of a rule, I talk to everyone, I say nothing to everyone. Exactly, Orlin. Fucking right. Top secretly want to be outlaws. Yeah, exactly. Canada's most wanted. Isn't that a code for moose? Yeah. And of course, there was always a moose in every motorcycle club in Canada, right? There's always a dude named Moose. I think one of the more famous ones came from the London area. He might have actually been a Paradise Rider. I'm not sure. But I remember the name. It was before my time. I wore a sports shirt because I was given one. Over a few years back, I bought supporting the members that were in jail. Yeah. I used to like doing those jail ones, free this guy, free that guy, and put a design on it. Because those are limited runs. And at least you're helping your brother out, get some lawyer money up or whatever it is he needs. I also never consider myself a hang-around, but I've been to a clubhouse before when I was invited. Never once entered my mind to become a member. Yep. First sports fish I got had the pistol. Yep. Oh, and had the loose lip sync shifts. I've never seen that one before. Huh. Interesting, man. That's awesome. Never consider myself a pioneer. Yeah. I tried bringing the true sense of brotherhood to the clubhouse. Got me OB instead. Yeah. That's crazy, eh? I had someone wear a sports shirt. Now it's like Tommy. Yeah, exactly. Your old dog. Yeah. I rode by the prison. Taco was that in North Carolina. Oh, really, eh? And then he had fucking cancer. It's too bad, eh? But again, fucking life is life. Steak finger? Who's that? Yeah, man. The Rotner speech by Taco even got to the feds. I don't remember that one. Was that in court? I must have been in court. I'm surprised they haven't done a movie about Taco yet. The other club sent a few guys to the Eagles Club. I was having a beer. I lived in the city. I don't know. Someone I don't know called me. I showed up. So it's just Dougie. Oh, that'd be an old one too, eh, Road Dog? That'd be a cool one to have too. Keep the dice rolling. Yeah, that was a good logo for their support stuff. Hey, keep the dice logo or keep the dice rolling. That was always a good saying. But yeah, we've had lots and lots of different international clubs come and plant flags in Canada over the years, and obviously without going um, too far, it's easy to say that Hell's Angels have had the most success. Like you say, they came around '77, and but like you say, if it might have been different people involved, it might have went differently. But that could be said for anything, right? So, and then we've had some that have popped in, wound up with a lunatic like Wiener at the wheel, and folded the fuck up and said, "We ain't going back to Canada." And then, like what I read last night on the Google machine, was the Pagans had a look around and said, "No, no, Canada's not a little bit too crazy for us." But that's interesting that they've got an Instagram page that says Pagans Canada. So we'll have to keep on digging at that one and see if it's actually the Pagans or if it's just someone who really wants to be a pagan or something, right? These two clubs got along, but I think the guys who chose the other province. Oh, that's interesting. I heard they want to make a movie about Taco, but Danny Trejo is busy. He didn't look like Taco, bro. Jesus. Remember when I see the 09 Black Rain took down the Outlaws in Virginia? Black Rain? No. I don't know what that one is. They've had some troubles in some states. It's how it goes. I guess, so sometimes a state might be down to one or two chapters, and then that chapter might be down to the bare minimum numbers wise, and the other clubs might be building. What are you gonna do? You can't ducktail and run. So they stay and duke it out. But we all know how it is in fighting. You don't win all of them. Sorry to say, but the clubs are to blame. All the sport gear I've been to, bike events and different clubs. Yep, right off the tables, bro. Bernie Madoff also died in Butner. Oh, so that's where they go. Is that like a club fed? For the patch over everyone in Niagara was wearing to keep dice rolling. It's a really good slogan. Yeah. And it was a lot of the dice guys that ended up being in the Niagara chapter too. If I recall correctly. Pagans set in years. Very good time. Very, very time. Yeah, it was all good, bro. It was all good till it was bad. That is a bad deal. Used to be the only sold on the clubhouses. Yeah, years ago, man. My friend Thiessen is activating our junk DNA. No such thing as a junk DNA, Dinah. Remember the show from the 70s called Bewitched? Yeah. So we used to be before the invasion. I remember Bewitched, she wiggled her nose. Then sport clubs came around, Paradise Nights, don't remember them. Don't remember that at all. Been around Pagans. Hi, okay, so we're saying hi. Milwaukee was tied with that. Okay. So he didn't go down. That's good. And selling anybody, well, it could be, yeah, that's how they do it, right? Read a whole chapter Undercover, took down Virginia. Wow, eh? A whole chapter. Well, remember that Jay Dobbins guy, um, the Operation Black Biscuit and all that bullshit. He claimed that most of that chapter was undercover cops, but the Angels um, deny that across the board. They deny that he ever got his full patch or any of his people ever had full patches. But in the movie, they got to spice up for the movies. Few turned out to be fall downs. Fucking. Oh, okay. Charlie Falco was part of that. Yes, that Falco guy. I read his book. It's amazing. He's been in 3 different bike clubs and nobody caught on. It was the same guy. He did something with the Vagos. He did something with the Outlaws. And I can't remember the third one, but he was in 3 different clubs as an undercover. My God. They didn't even sell them. They called it donation. Yeah. That was always the thing, donation, exactly. Nights are mostly Toronto. Okay. Yeah, man. All right, Joker Smoker. Yeah, we'll get some sun soon. We're getting Canada's 9th winter. Niagara was Dogs of War. Hey, know which one? Good to see you, bro. The story about Banditos patch rock machine operation. Got mad about that and joined 81. Yeah, see, I recall that story, but I don't remember why Rock Machine decided forget it with the Banditos. But I think there was all kind of happening when they were having the peace talks at the courthouse, and we're all watching that with bated breath to see how those peace talks worked out. And then when we seen Sasquatch and them guy walk out the one day with 81 patch, it's like, oh, that's interesting, right? Because 81 or Rock Machine had just spent the last 2 years in Ontario romancing us guys and different guys. And I was one of them who was romancing and trying to get us to switch over to Rock Machine. And then the whole time I think he knew which way the fucking talks were going, right? So, like I say, the one guy in Toronto that broke a whole chapter of away, and he went open a Rock Machine chapter. So then, when the Rock Machine patched in Quebec, then he did the very next day. So he was one of the first guys in Ontario with that patch, and then they did the mass patch in shortly after, right? But I don't know how the Banditos ended up. I think it was through the loners, right? Staying in Canada, and then they end up in Ontario with, like you say, that Madman Wiener, right? And he blew that all up. Going from prison, dude sleeping on my couch ass. That's really who the fuck I would too. That's the guy that brought you smokes and no money. Grab a blanket, don't let him get cold. What the fuck? To be honest, no bullshit, exactly why I don't wear mine anymore. I like living and with all my dentures. Yeah, exactly, right? I got too much money in my mouth to get in a fist fight anymore. Yeah, do like Bruce said. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out, guys. Bandits tried to get the machine to roll. Yeah, they almost got him. And I think even after the mass patch over, they came back for another try. But like I say, then they ended up with the loners in Ontario. And unfortunately, the only bad thing out of the whole thing they had in Ontario was Wiener. And then the guys that Wiener found in Winnipeg, if they had stayed away from that little portion, they'd still be here, man. Like Joe the Boxer was a really, really fucking nice guy. He was a good guy, man. He didn't deserve the end he got, that's for sure. You know, I'm not saying we're tight and we're bros or nothing, but I did meet him a few times and I really did like the dude. So yeah. What's up? Now you turn nightmare Sasquatch. What is that? Out Canada Ryan. I remember sending prospects to get CI-17. He was such a funny. I like Sasquatch a lot. We actually spent a fair amount of time hanging out together at the strip joint and at the clubhouse when he'd come to London. He would come to London and stay down here for a few days. I always had a girl for him, and she'd take care of him and he like that, you know. You know Niagara well? Yes, you might know. 7 or 8 years. Yeah, Niagara was the one place that fucking it was hard for any club to open up there and stay there. You know what I mean? The cops are all over them. Maybe they don't want to share the action in Niagara Falls, right? It's the cops and the Italians and no one else is invited. Were they insulted not to get the Banditos patch? Oh, I don't know about that. I think it was those guys that turned it away. Just because of how many other guys had went red and white, and I think they turned it away. I'm not sure, but that's what I think. Good night, Fred. Thanks for popping in, brother. That's why the fake cell tellers and and the chemtrails and all that shit. You got that. Thug Riders. Thug Riders. That's a cool name for a club, eh? Thug Riders. Oh, you grew up right there. I sure did like going to St. Catharines, bro. I really did. Yeah, that's true, Keegan. That's true. We're not here for long. No, I don't know any brothers. I never met anyone that was like actually deaf and did sign language and all that. Not at all. All right, Bruce, thanks for popping in. I'm on my way to signing out too. I'm just getting through the end of the chat. Thank you, brother, for saying that. Another great show. I appreciate that, man. And you too, Mark. I'm glad you enjoyed it, brother. Yeah, man. You guys are really good people in the chat, man. I really like each and every one of you. Yeah, Wayne Calstein will get you a patch. He'll get you something. Or an unmarked grave. An unmarked shallow grave in a fucking cornfield somewhere. All right. Yeah, I used to love it when I would go down there, man. I usually ended up staying a week at a time, just fucking around, hanging out with the bros and doing whatever. There was always fun in St. Kitts. It reminded me just of London, right? And everyone knew, you know, chicks and shit like that. You can go hang out at chicks' place for a few days, and yeah, man, it was a good old time. Thank you, Mark. Thanks for popping in, brother. All right, guys, that's it for the night. Thanks each and every one of you. We just kind of pulled the show together out of our ass, but that's how we do it. And I appreciate you guys. Could have been anywhere, but you were here, and I thank you all for that. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll do it all again. Stay safe and stay warm out there, guys. Love and respect.
Biker News Canada, where the truth hits harder than the highway wind. From Ontario to the coast, Bob Javi rolls in. Let the real news begin. He's got the camera ready, catching sparks from every ride. Club stories, charity runs, every heartbeat of the biker tribe. So smash that like, share, follow, let the whole country feel the raw. Turn it up, pass it on, kick that algorithm's door. This is brotherhood on wheels, every patch, every mile, every song.